I love buying and eating locally grown produce, especially as we get into spring and summer. I bet you do too. It tastes better, it's healthier, it's better for local farmers, all that. But I'm going to be honest, it's hard to get it sometimes. If I can't make it to the farmer's market, I'm basically SOL. There's no everyday central location, no supermarket for local food. A farmer in St. Lawrence County is trying to crack this vexing problem for the local food movement, distributing local fruits and vegetables on today's Story of the Day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Pearsall Wealth Management at UBS Wealth Management USA, subsidiary UBS AG, member FINRA SIPC, 1 Broad Street, Glens Falls. And Claxton Hepburn Medical Center, dedicated to providing patient care and regional services to the people of St. Lawrence County. ClaxtonHepburn.org.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Monday, May 22nd. First up, Governor Kathy Hochul has said she's exploring all available state properties as potential housing options for an influx of migrants to New York City. That could include SUNY campuses in other parts of the state. Republican State Senator Joe Griffo says considering SUNY campuses is ludicrous.
These kids, the students just left and they're coming back on August 1st. There's construction going on campuses. So for this governor to indicate in any way that she's going to look at state assets is ridiculous.
A SUNY spokesperson says they're assessing whether there are SUNY resources available to help with the arrival of asylum seekers. Meanwhile, several upstate counties like Onondaga, Oneida, Oswego, and Madison have issued emergency orders banning entities in their counties from sheltering migrants. Immigration advocates are pushing back, saying the emergency orders are not humane. WRVO's Ava Pukach reports from Syracuse.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
In response to the emergency order issued by Onondaga County Executive Ryan McMahon, immigration advocates held a rally in downtown Syracuse. McMahon says the county is already expecting 1,900 refugees over the next 12 to 16 months and doesn't have the capacity for any more from New York City. Kayla Kalichian of the New York Immigration Coalition says she believes immigrants make the community stronger and says it's not the time to instill a scarcity mindset.
And we're not going to fall for that. We're not going to fall for that scarcity mindset. Because if anything, I would like to ask, well, how did we get here? If you're saying all this, maybe they aren't doing the right thing, right, to get in the beginning. And so stop pinning it on our communities.
Yvonne Griffin of Citizen Action New York says Syracuse has always been a sanctuary city and believes the order is racist as the county has welcomed Afghan and Ukrainian immigrants, but is now not going to allow the migrants from New York City, many of who are Black and Hispanic.
We speak 82 languages, so now we're going to say that some of them 82 languages are not allowed here? That's inappropriate, especially if they're being denied hotel access. Like now you're depriving them of housing.
We will march and we will fight. Migration is a human right.
In Syracuse, I'm Ava Pukach for WRVO News.
Students at Paul Smith College in the Adirondacks graduated yesterday. It's been a tumultuous year for the school, with low enrollment, potential staff layoffs, and rumors earlier this week that the school planned to close. Paul Smith's president, Dan Kelting, said the school has no plans to close. The rumor spread after the Adirondack Explorer published a story last week saying the school created a closing plan. Kelting later said the plan was just a precaution that they were required to put together after a cyber attack last fall. The college is attempting to merge with a New York City not-for-profit, though their request was deemed incomplete this spring. Paul Smith has until August now to resubmit its merger request. One of the biggest obstacles for the local food movement in the North Country has always been aggregation and distribution. How to gather produce from lots of small farms and get it to individual customers scattered all across the region. A new local food grant from the USDA is aimed at solving that problem. Lucy Grindon reports.
Cherie Witten's farm grows just about every vegetable you can grow in the North Country. In the fields surrounding the farmhouse, there's garlic, sage, lemon balm, and asparagus.
Do you like asparagus?
I love asparagus. In the greenhouse, they've got brassicas like broccoli and cauliflower, and even some corn seedlings. And it's just gotten warm enough for the kale to be moved outside the greenhouse.
Oh my God. Wow. Whoa, it's like sweet.
Oh, our kale's sweet. You're not the only one. We make a dish in Tupper Lake. We make a marinated kale salad. And people constantly come and ask me, they're like, what did you do to that kale?
The farm is in the hamlet of Winthrop in rural St. Lawrence County. They have an on-site farm stand, and they do a CSA, but it's still hard to get this food distributed to people. Adam Dewberry is the director of the local food system program at the Adirondack North Country Association. He says there are a lot of barriers to local food access in the North Country, especially for low-income people.
There's a whole list. Starting at the top, most pressing ones, cost is always a concern. Like local food is just more expensive than buying food from Walmart, let's say.
Another big problem people have is physically getting to where the local food is being sold.
Just having the farmers market as a point of access can be tough for people too. For
example,
the Canton market is during the week. It's on a weekday when people might be working. So there's, like I said, it's a really complicated problem.
Having to get to farmers markets and farm stands contributes to the overall cost of the food, too, especially with the fluctuating price of gas. It can be a lot cheaper to go to your local grocery store once a week than to drive out to multiple small farm stands. Witten's been trying to address these issues for years. About 7 years ago, she started the Adirondack Food Hub, a local food market in Tupper Lake. She says about 10 to 15% of the food she grows on her farm gets sold there. And for the past few years, she's been applying for the USDA's Local Food Promotion Grant.
I almost gave up trying for it, but I didn't. I tried one more time and I got it.
$500,000. Now she's planning to set up an online platform for the Food Hub, where local farmers from all over the North Country can list their produce and customers can buy it from them. A large portion of the grant money will be used to get that food to customers by offering delivery service.
We've got some big food deserts as far as drives to local food up through the North Country. So a lot of low-income areas, they're a driving distance, and not everybody factors in the drive to get food. But being able to have local delivery, and we're not going to be able to go to everybody's house, but we're going to try and work it out as best we can so that we can get within the vicinity of most people.
They haven't mapped out their exact routes yet, but they're going to get a refrigerated truck and drive it all over the St. Lawrence Valley and the Adirondacks.
Let's say, for instance, that somebody in Ogdensburg orders salad lettuce mix from Julie at Bird's Foot in Canton. And we go to Canton first on our route, and we would pick up their order when we're at her farm, picking up orders for other people. And we would drop that same order off in the same route in Ogdensburg when we get to Ogdensburg.
Another portion of the grant money will go towards building a better food processing facility at the Food Hub, so farmers can take their extra produce and do something with it before it goes bad. Those kinds of processed, value-added products, like tomato sauce instead of tomatoes, for example, will help farmers make money off of food that would otherwise have gone to waste. Right now, the plan is for Witten's husband to drive the refrigerated delivery truck, which she says is not ideal.
Farmers should be farming during the season and not driving. But once we get it established, I'm thinking with the colleges around here that we'll find summer help to do that.
Witten says local food means more local jobs and helps the regional economy.
Most of the farms in this area, almost all of the inputs are local. So it's going to be local labor, local fertilizer, manure, mechanics, whatever.
She says by buying local food, customers can keep their money local.
If that stays in the hands of the people, it's going to change life for people in the North Country.
And she wants local farms to be the default food source for people in the North Country and not just a supplement. Lucy Grindon, North Country Public Radio, Winthrop.
We have more news all the time on our website, ncpr.org. Music today by Gretchen Kohler and Daniel Kelly of Potsdam and Paul Meyer of Colton. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.